Hey, everybody. How are you doing tonight? Thanks for joining us on FMTV Weekly. I am Peter Brown, and of course, as always, I cannot do this show alone. So let's welcome in our favorite uncle. I don't care what anybody says. This is our favorite uncle, Uncle Ed. Say hi, Ed.
How's it going, guys? Peter, here we are, another week. Sorry we missed last week. It was Dad's Day, so Peter had to do his duties and as a dad. And Peter, man, I don't know. This last game, I think we played better, but we're gonna get into it right now.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Some people are saying cool shirt from the blackout. Ed, I didn't tell you, but I've got one of these with your name on it.
Oh, man, I don't deserve the kindness.
Yep. Ed was not able to make it to the game because he's a working man. But I got a few of these shirts, and my wife and daughter don't really want one. In actuality, they only had one size. So if they had like a smaller size, my wife would have definitely taken one. But but they only gave out large, and so even for me, it's a little bit big. But
Yeah, you're all skin and bones now.
Yeah, we even asked them like, "Hey, do you have a medium?" They're like, "No, one size. One size is all." So yeah, I've got a couple of these shirts. So one has got your name on it. Next time I see you, Ed.
All right, next game for sure.
All right. Hey everybody, thanks so much again for joining us. We a lot to talk about tonight as far as I think this was our best performance of the night. So a lot to kind of dig in there and talk about and get your opinion. And so as always, we want you guys to be active in the chat, and we might be able to play voicemail tonight. We might not. We were a little bit late because I had a little bit of technical difficulties, and I'm not sure if the voicemail is going to work tonight, but we will give it a try. We have one from One World, One Goal, and we'll give it a try. Oh, and already it started. Already, Ed, it started, and we can't say anything about it. But Vamos Orlando is in here, and they say Florida is purple, right?
Oh, yeah, I've got controls over the chat, and I was not going to let them see it, but
it's part of the fun. It's part of the fun.
We'll let them see it.
It's part of the fun. Yeah. It's part of the fun. But we're going to get into all that, and to Vamos Orlando, look, I can't say anything because we lost, right? But hey, we have beaten them. So what? I think we played twice, right? I think it's twice.
Yeah, but this is we've won twice, and they've won twice, but this is actually 3 times they beat us, and this is the first time they beat us at home. I think.
Okay, I didn't look. I do know we beat them. That's all I knew. I didn't look at the entire history, but I know we beat them at least once. But
so yeah, they're up, I think, by 1 now.
Yeah,
Fiddlesticks.
And as much as we want to talk trash about Orlando right now, they're better. They're better. So congratulations, Orlando. But we'll get into all that in a few minutes. But before we do that, if you want to go and buy any cool Inter Miami gear, like I keep saying, I got to go spend some money. I've got to go and head down to Caneswear myself. I got to go down there, and I might be buying the... I need a new hat. Ed, I want one of those hats that's got just the M on it. I think that's cool. It's very simplistic. I've already got hats that have the logo on it. I want one of those M hats. And I know Caneswear in Davie has those hats. And you can go to Caneswear in Davie on your way south, or on your way north. If you're living in Miami and you're driving to Lockhart Stadium, hit Caneswear on your way to the Lockhart Stadium. And if it's a little bit too far for you, no worries. Go to caneswear.com and use the promo code FMTV10 and get 10% off. I know, One World, One Goal is commenting in the chat that she's got some baby clothing for her niece from Caneswear. So yeah, everybody can go to Caneswear, and you will look awesome, and all your pink. Ooh,
pink,
black and pink. They don't sell anything purple in that store. There is no purple at Caneswear.
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to say, Peter, last time I went up to the game, I stopped by Caneswear. I bought something for my wife, And I wish that it was closer, but no problem because I go to Kingswear.com and they'll send me the stuff. We'll get there like next day.
Yeah, it's fast.
Thankfully we're closed, so it's pretty quick, and you get to wear all your cool stuff. Everything we bought there. So I need a new hat too, and I like that M as well, Peter.
Yeah,
So
I like it simplistic, So Vamos Orlando is on fire in the chat, by the way.
Oh man, we should, as long as he doesn't say any bad words, I think we're good.
Yeah, no, hey, it's all in fun. We poke fun at Orlando, and Orlando can poke fun at us as long as it's in fun. We are just about having fun on this show. If we throw jabs at any other team, it's in fun. There is nothing negative whatsoever. So Ed, exactly. Let's say hi to some people in the chat room.
Let's do it, Peter. The first one that we got on here was Jose Velasquez. He's already talking about how our defense let us down. Man, that's, yes, we're going to get to it in a bit. Our good friend B. King, who I heard you ran into in the stadium.
I did.
B. King is with us. How you doing, my friend? Of course, always with us since back in the day, Jazz Fusion. Jazz Fusion is on here. How you doing, Jazz? Luis Rodriguez, one of the Legion members, he was talking about he was in the Northwest Clubs area. Man, that's got to be kind of cool.
Fancy. I want to go there.
Pants.
Can I put out like a request, Ed?
What? Go ahead.
Somebody needs to invite me to go sit there.
Somebody do it. Well, maybe Luis could do it, man. That'd be the least he could do. Of course, we've got One World, One Goal saying hi to everybody. We've got the good judge himself, the Judge Dredd the Law. How you doing? He's with us. Oh, there's one of our good friends, Eric Thomas. Eric, how you doing? We've got, let's see who else. We've got the good. I guess we have to mention Vamos Orlando is on there.
Yep, he's in there, so we got to say hi to him.
Yeah, Vamos Orlando's with us, and we've got. That's it. The last person I saw there was, they got a good conversation going in there in that chat. So
yeah, we got Marvin Mieles in there. He's talking about the Ecuador tied Brazil in the Copa America 1-1.
I was watching that right now, and the game ended, so Ecuador made it to the next phase because they tied.
How about that?
Yeah, they tied Brazil. I thought Brazil was going to kill them, but
you'd think, right?
They didn't play Neymar and a couple of other players, so they were resting them for the next phase. So Ecuador got lucky. So.
Hey, congratulations though. You gotta take the wins where you can get them. It's no different than Inter Miami. Ecuador is the underdog in that situation, and right now Inter Miami is pretty much the underdog in any game we play. We want to talk a big game. We want to be the big dog. We want to be the kings of Florida, right? But as of right now, we're not it. And they gotta be happy for whatever win they can get.
That Mickey Mouse Club, I'm telling you, they're doing really well. They've got a great team going. I hate to say that. I hate to say that they have a good team, but they do. And they're paying them a lot less than we are.
That's the amazing thing is they are one of the lowest payroll teams in the league, and they're getting it done.
Man, Peter, I don't know what to say, but yeah, it's we had Higuain and Pizarro in the second half. And a lot of people that I know, they always tell me, dude, why are these guys not playing? That's one of the biggest complaints that everybody has. Why aren't they playing? Why are they, on the bench or in, the past few games, they weren't even on the bench. So, why these guys are the people that are getting paid the most, not participating, not playing. And that's a beef that a lot of us, a lot of the fans that I've talked to say, it sucks.
Yeah, and just FYI, Vamos Orlando is saying, Ed, all of you know me very well.
It's probably one of
the people you know over there in Orlando.
Yeah.
So
So
the only person I know in Orlando is like, Mickey Mouse, right? That's it.
right, I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, that's the only friend over
That's
there.
the only friend
Yeah,
I
there's
have in Orlando. I'm not like you that has friends that wear purple. I don't have any friends that wear purple.
Yes, it's
However, it
disappointing.
sounds like you do, Ed.
Yeah, I know a couple people that they're Orlando fans and they live over there or at least close by, and they wear that ugly purple color. But right now they can brag all they want because they're one of the
Look,
top teams in MLS right now.
They look, as much as I want to hate on Orlando, they were so bad for so long, and they finally got it right with hiring Oscar Pereira. They finally got it right with hiring the correct coach. And so once they got a good coach in the ranks, the things started turning around. But they were so bad for so long that I can understand why they might be cheering a little bit right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all this pent-up frustration, Ed. They have pent-up frustration for being so bad. I mean, we can hope. God, I cross my fingers. We could hope
everything
that our bad years are like, next year will finally be good, right? We can only hope that it a couple of years and we'll be good. Your normal, expansion team woes. But Orlando is so bad for so long that, again, they're just cheering because they sucked for so long that they've got to just let it out, the excitement out that they're good. They're finally good.
Well, the only thing I'm like, all right, let them enjoy their run. Hopefully, they won't become champions before Inter Miami does.
No,
because then we're not
you're
going
right.
to hear the end of it.
Yes.
We're not going to hear the end of it.
Yes.
So, but Peter, I know you've got there's so much stuff that we can cover. I know you got a video somebody has sent it in.
Yeah.
We've got messages. What do we jump to? You want to look at the goals first? What do you want to do?
Well, let's talk. Eric Thomas put in here. Just wanted to say to the Familia, keep your heads up. The guys fought hard with talent they have. It took Orlando 6 years to make it to the playoffs. We did it in year 1. So you could look at it like, hey, we were better than Orlando, right? In our first years. Granted, we got in a expanded playoff format, so we got a little bit lucky.
But playoffs are playoffs, Peter.
We got in. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
Right. But hey, as far as the game goes, though, I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about the experience at the game, and this game was sold out. Right, and I know you missed it, but you gave your tickets away to a couple of old Fort Lauderdale Strikers guys.
I want to get them addicted so they can, start.
And that's the funny thing is, I don't think they watched our channel, even though they should. And I tell them they should watch the channel, but I don't think they do. And so one of the guys that you gave the tickets to is a guy, Neil, and Neil he's like an 80-year-old grumpy old man. Big old soccer fan.
Yeah.
Me and Neil always kind of joke around saying we agree on everything, especially politics and religion. Because we joke because that is the opposite. And we don't disagree on politics and religion, but we agree on everything else. Like soccer, we're on board with each other, right? But politics and religion, we're the complete opposite. But we have fun with it. Neither one of us get upset at each other having an opinion. And these guys. So Neil is sitting there watching this game, and he's sitting here saying, "This is not my team. This is not my team. But man, this is a lot of fun." And
it's
so
gonna become his team.
I yell at him and go, "Neil, why isn't it your team? Come on." And then he gets mad at me a little bit. It's not my team. It's not the same. It's the Strikers. My team's gone. I'm like, yeah, but they're gone. So why not enjoy this? I mean, this can be your team. It's not you. And people giving me a hard time like that turn me off. And I'm like, all right. I won't give you a hard time. I mean, he was barking at me. And then he looks back at me and goes, but man, this is fun. This is awesome. But this is not my team. But this is awesome.
Yeah.
So the guys had a great time, and your tickets definitely went well used, and they enjoyed themselves. Him and Gregor both enjoyed themselves a lot. Old Strikers fans, grew up going to that stadium to see the Strikers for so many years, got a chance because of you to go see Inter Miami. Now, of course, they weren't happy with the $40 parking, because if you don't prepay, you're talking $40.
Yeah, I forgot to tell them about that.
I did tell them about that beforehand because I was chatting, but that's what they paid. They were hoping to find something close by in the neighborhood, and I'm like, there's not really a lot. Businesses, there's one business that I'm aware of that is opened up for parking, but even I haven't used them. I keep just prepaying and paying way too much, $30 to park. It's way too much.
Right.
But I've been paying it. But these guys definitely had a lot of fun, and it was a great experience. Great, they gave away free shirts, and these are nice dry fit type of shirts. It was definitely a great night out. I brought my wife and daughter. My wife definitely can get into the game. My daughter hated every second of it.
Wow.
Sat on.
What else? But they're men. I mean, she's a teenager, right? And
right. You think she'd go look for guys, right?
Right.
I don't want to really promote that, Ed. 16-year-old daughter, I don't really need to promote that.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
But, hey, here's the thing. Okay, I didn't plan on going down this road, but you take a kid, you take a teenager, you take somebody that's not really into the sport, but you take them to an event. What is one of the besides arepa, and I know Ted loves his arepas, and we've got a video by Ted, and we're going to play that in a few minutes. But what is like the number one snack that you think should be at every arena or stadium? What do you think, Ed?
Popcorn?
Exactly. And do you think you could find popcorn at Inter Miami Stadium?
They didn't have any?
There is no popcorn at Drive Pink Stadium.
Wow.
How do you have a stadium without Now, I'm going to say I think the team listens to us, because remember that episode where I bitched about the dirty seats? Mm-hmm. They're clean now. They are clean. I think they do listen. I mean, I know a few people within the team listen or watch.
Yeah.
I do know that. But I think they may pay attention. Get some damn popcorn in the stadium, because your kids want popcorn.
And your kid wanted popcorn.
She wanted popcorn. There was no popcorn to be had. And they had like a food truck that had ice cream. The ice cream machine broke down. She couldn't even get ice cream. Now, my 16-year-old daughter doesn't want a taco. The tacos there are good. They're some.
Good. Yeah. We need to do reviews on the food.
Yeah, we do. They had shawarma. They're good. We had a shawarma. Me and my wife. My daughter is not interested in a shawarma. She wants some popcorn. Or maybe a little ice cream, but popcorn.
Popping corn, Dad. Popping corn.
I mean, it's like a standard. When I took my daughter years ago to a Miami Marlins game. Now, she could care even less about baseball. But she enjoyed herself because she could walk around the stadium, find some fun snacks. Enter Miami. Bring some damn popcorn for the kids.
Wow. Yeah. But what else did the guy say? He sent me a message, something about the walk up was, he's 80, I think, right? Neil.
Neil's 80. Yeah. There's a lot of stairs for him to climb, because we're sitting up a little bit high. Our seats are in the 34th row, so they're a little bit up there. B King is saying no ice cream or popcorn. Exactly, B King.
Wow.
This is a soapbox I am ready to fight on week in, week out. This is going to become my new campaign. We want popcorn.
Yeah. Popping corn is very important, especially for the children's. So I don't blame.
It's
I don't blame
part
her.
of going to an event.
So that's part of the reason why she doesn't want to go to the games now? No
exactly.
popcorn?
So, FYI, I might be asking some people to come to games with me because I got a spare ticket. Because I can make her come to a couple of games, but who wants to see their kid miserable? So
right.
I may
so
not
she was
make
on
her
the phone
come
half the time?
What's that?
She was on her phone half the time.
Oh yeah, she's sitting there on her phone the whole time, probably sitting there Snapchatting, saying, "God, how miserable I am. Oh God, this sucks."
Woe is me. Hashtag.
The
This
humidity is making my hair frizzy.
Yeah,
You're talking about going to see boys, and the hair is all frizzy. So, oh, look at that, Luis Rodriguez rubbing it in. There was popcorn in the Northwest Club, Peter. But I got a Northwest ticket for a future game. All right, take me.
So you're gonna abandon me, Peter, just to go with Louise to the good area, I guess you can call it.
If I can get some popcorn, it may be.
And they've got elevators on that side. Remember, we did a video. You guys can look for the video of the full tour that we did of the stadium, and the what is that? The west side has elevators.
Yeah. And that's an interesting thing. I'm surprised there is no way on the east side for people that are in wheelchairs or 80 years old to get up. So I'm surprised there is no other way on the east side for you to get up. So if you need accessible areas, I'm assuming you got to buy seats down low. So anyway,
or on the west side,
spend a little bit more money, but. Anyways, hey, before we move on to the actual game itself, one other thing I just wanted to bring up was that I got a nice opportunity to meet several of you guys at the stadium. So it was a pleasure meeting everybody. I know I ran into B. King. I ran into Jonathan and his lady. And that was funny, Ed, because she was sitting here saying, he knows who you are, but I got no clue. I don't know who you are. And I'm like, that's okay. I don't expect anybody to. But it was, and then there was another couple that I met. I did not get their names. But I met 3 or 4 people at the game. So it was awesome meeting you guys. And thanks for watching and participating in the show. And what I kept hearing from everybody is it sounds like we missed 1 week, Ed. And everybody is just, the main message they said to me is, you got to keep this going. You got to keep this going. It's a thing I love so much. I schedule my Sunday nights around this. So,
oh, wow. That's awesome. Thanks, guys. Well, didn't you mention also your daughter was not thrilled that you're kind of popular?
No, I think it was the opposite. She was a little embarrassed there, Ed. My daughter was embarrassed because people were asking to take pictures with me. And my daughter was slightly embarrassed, like, oh, God, people know who my dad is here. So it was funny.
Hashtag this sucks.
Yeah. Hey, and something is, somebody brought this up down below because we may have missed it, but I did see it, but then I got off on my side chance. Vamos Orlando says, super chat, $49.99. Thank you so much. When I say you know me very well, it's because you guys know me.
Thank you so much. And now we
kind of get the idea of who that might be.
We appreciate it. And yeah, you can talk bad about us all you want.
So thanks so much for that super chat. As always, guys, the super chat is open. We don't really promote it or anything like that, but if you want to donate to the show, that is available.
And that helps us, better the quality of the videos. And, for a while, my internet was terrible. Look how it is now. So
hey, that kind of contribution helps things like cameras and new laptops and things like that to make the show better. So we appreciate it. So thank you. Eric Thomas put a chat in there a little while ago while I was talking about my daughter, and he's a bastard, by the way, because he says, "Hey Peter, hook her up with a 12-year-old kid that keeps calling in."
Oh boy. She's too old for him anyway.
Yeah, she's too old, and we haven't seen Alejandro on this chat in a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
I don't know. I don't know if we pissed him off by wearing blue Southern Legion shirts because he didn't agree with that.
Yeah, he didn't like that too much.
He didn't like it. Yeah, well. But Eric Thomas, you're gonna find yourself uninvited to the next gathering.
Yeah, bucko. Yeah.
All right, Ed. Let's before we go too much farther, let's go and let's see if we can play a video from our friend Ted.
This is Ted from Coral Gables, Florida. not to be confused with Coconut Creek or Coconut Grove.
Coconut Creek's better.
So I was at the game Friday last night. Sorry I didn't run into you, Peter. I actually arrived late and left early. I left right around the 90th minute when I just couldn't take it anymore.
Can't leave early.
Before I get into my thoughts on the game, that was the first time I've been inside the new Lockhart Stadium, or Drive Pink Stadium, I should say. It is way nicer than the old Lockhart that the Miami Fusion and the Fort Lauderdale Strikers played at. I mean, we have video screens and really, really nice video screens. The entire experience is a lot more professional than what we had at there's some lizards fighting outside, some iguanas. It's a much nicer and bigger and professional experience than the old Miami Fusion games. And there's just a lot more people there. And especially the supporter section just looks fantastic now. It was, the Siege, Southern Legion, Vice City, all of those guys do an excellent job over there. They're they're really fighting. So
I wish you would have put the video over there.
Yeah, so the stadium,
let's pause that there for a second, Ed. Lizards are fighting. I mean, at that point, if Ed really, I'm sorry, if Ted is really, the camera should have been moved to the fighting lizards. I want to now.
Look,
I want to know who's winning.
Exactly.
Is it the purple lizard or the pink lizard?
Are they iguanas? Are they Komodo dragons? Exactly.
Is he? Are these little tiny lizards? Or are the iguanas that we see everywhere? Who's winning the battle? That might have been a better game, a better match than Inter Miami Orlando City.
And better than seeing Ted with that crazy hat and those sunglasses that he got from his granddad or something.
Oh, all right. Let's listen. All right, let's continue.
A solid B+ for the stadium. It's actually really nice. The seats are a lot nicer. Everything about it is nicer. So that said, the team is not very nice. I really want to especially talk about that second goal by Nani. It was a nice goal, but if you watch it, Figal especially is standing near him, and he does not close him down at all. As a matter of fact, everyone in my in my section of the crowd was yelling, "Close him down, close him down." Like, you could see it coming before it happened, and I think the only person that couldn't see it happen was Figal. He just stood there and watched the whole thing. He did not
give him space.
He did not exert any effort whatsoever on that play. I keep seeing it in my social media feeds, and it's one of those autoplay things, and it hurts every time. It's just, the defense just cannot keep a clean sheet. They always give up goals. I don't think any of them are good. You might say, oh, this player had a good game here, he had a good tackle, a good play there. LGP, no. Figal, no. Ryan Shawcross, even. Again, they might make decent plays here and there, but they just cannot keep the ball out of the net. They just can't do it. And Inter Miami only has one player who can score. Say what you want about him. I agree. Gonzalo Higuain has a bad attitude. He's out of shape, whatever. He doesn't always try his hardest. I've been posting this on my social media. It's true, but he's also 5th in the MLS in goals. He now has 5 goals in 8 games. He's the only he's got more than the rest of the team combined. The 2 games he didn't play, the Inter Miami didn't score at all, and they lost both games. He is the only good player on the team. I wouldn't say the only good player. He's basically the only goal scorer. He's the only one who can put the ball in the back of the net. I do think Gregory is a good player, but he's a defensive midfielder, and he didn't play last night. Blaise Matuidi is probably the third player who sometimes is good, especially as more of a defensive type midfielder also. He doesn't do much on offense anymore like he used to do with PSG. He used to assist and score goals. Now he's just kind of stays right there in that around the halfway line and occasionally has some decent defensive plays. I actually left the game early because I was in a bad mood. I was in a bad mood the entire way home. I think Julian Carranza was absolutely disgustingly terrible in that match. I couldn't believe that Phil Neville started him over Gonzalo. Yes, his attitude is better. Yes, if you want to press, you need someone with more athleticism, and Julian Carranza gives you that. But every single time he touched the ball, it was terrible. If it was a better, more skilled player, he could have scored 3 goals. He kept getting the ball in decent position, but it was terrible. It was the ball would go out of bounds. He'd make a bad pass, a bad touch that would get stolen. Every single time he got it, it was terrible. And this isn't the first time. This isn't the first game. So you got to play Rodolfo Pizarro also. If you're not going to sell him, which if they can get someone else with that money in that DP slot, then yeah. But you have to play him. He is a skilled player. Does he do everything that we'd want him to do? No. Is he the answer as a creative number 10? No. But this team, like look at Jay Chapman. Chapman works hard. He tries hard. He just has no skill. He somehow gets the ball in good position several times a game, but he's not terrible. He doesn't mess up like Figal and remember Ben Sweat last year, who every time he touched it, it seemed like it turned into a goal for the other team. He's not like embarrassingly bad, but Jay Chapman, I don't know how he even gets in these games because he doesn't have any skill whatsoever. He's an effort guy. Victor Ulloa, terrible. I mean, okay, yeah, again, he's another guy like, oh, well, he made a nice tackle here. He stopped the attack here. He's a decent defensive midfielder. No, he doesn't have complete games where he's good. And maybe in MLS, because of the salary structure, you're not going to get a team full of very good players, but it has to be better than this. This is terrible. I'm in a bad mood. I will say, you, Peter, you people, and Ed, Serrano, Uncle Ed, 69, you
Talking
guys,
about you.
and along with, some other people,
You people,
Julio, lots of other people, you worked really hard to get this team here. You did a lot of work, went to a lot of events, passed out flyers, put together Southern Legion. You did it all because we didn't have a team. We had a hole in our hearts. And you guys put in a lot of work there. And I will say that I wish you didn't. I wish this team didn't even exist. It was better when we had nothing to watch than watching this and having heartache and misery and headaches and having to pay $30 for parking. So I blame you guys. I blame Peter and Ed for this whole mess. I mean, I'm not serious. I'm glad we have the team, and I do appreciate everything that you guys did and continue to do with the video, the channel, and all that. But, it's just...
There's still 2 more minutes, Ed.
Jesus.
I get in bad moods for the entire weekend watching this stuff. And then, I get into arguments with the other fans, and other fans argue with each other. They all have their favorite players. Oh, this guy doesn't do this guy... And I disagree with almost everyone on that stuff. Rodolfo Pizarro in particular has gotten so much hate, and I agree with some of it. But he is, if you look at the skill level of Rodolfo Pizarro with the ball versus Chapman with the ball, it's night and day. Yes, I wish Pizarro made better decisions and he was better at setting up the strikers for goals. Yeah, and that's what he should be doing. And it seems like he could be doing. We've seen it a few times, especially last year. But the last thing I'll say, because this is bordering on 10 minutes now, is that I hate Orlando. I hate their fans. They were obnoxious at the game. They were standing up, and I'm not talking like there was that section behind the goal full of their fans. That was obnoxious. But there was some in my section too, and they kept standing up and blocking everyone's view and yelling, and I think they were drunk. And but even worse is the stuff I'm reading from them online. Florida is purple. You know what? Wait till we win. I mean, Inter Miami's beaten Orlando before, and I didn't go on their pages and be like, Florida is black and pink. Man, they're stupid, and that color purple's stupid, and everything about them is stupid. They don't live by the ocean. They live there in the basically swamplands. I mean, it would be a curse to live in Orlando, as far as I'm concerned. Miami is so much nicer, and Coconut Creek is so much nicer, and even Fort Lauderdale, or wherever you guys live now, Lauderhill Lakes or whatever. Anyway, okay, that's all I have to say. So, stadium is nice. The team is bad, and I hate Orlando. Bye.
Nice. It was worth it. It was worth the 10 minutes.
That was a long one, but it was funny. It was entertaining. You guys. He blames us, Ed. He blames us.
Wow. Because, we gave away like 10 years of almost 15 years of our lives trying to bring a team to South Florida, a Major League Soccer team to South Florida, and now he doesn't want the team.
Yeah, and it's funny as I ran into another guy at the game, Brian Corey. Brian Corey, a lot of you guys may not know who he is, but if you're old school Southern Legion, you know who he is. If you were part of the early days of Miami FC fans, you know who he is. And I ran into him at the game, and we were just celebrating and cheering and happy. We met at halftime. We weren't losing yet, so we met at halftime, and he looked at me and he goes, "You were number 1, I was number 3," because we're talking about like when we formed the Miami Ultras. I clearly was number 1. I formed it. Julio Caballero was number 2, and Brian Corey was number 3. That was the group, the first 3 people that came together to kind of create something to push for MLS, to push for this team, and so happy that we got this, and win, lose or draw, we're still happy we have a team. But at some point, and this is one of my big concerns, Ed, and I've said this for a long time, that South Florida is a tough sports market, and for how long will this stadium stay full if we are this bad? And I say this bad when I clearly stated in the title of this video, it's our best game. It, I think, was our best game of the season, and we still lost. So how long can they fill this stadium? How long can they charge $30, $40 to park when they suck? South Florida's tough. Go ahead.
Let me jump in there because I know you're getting pretty frustrated and pissed off. It's like we score a goal, everybody's happy, and then they just forget what it's like to defend. And we're, and it takes what, a minute, 2, maybe 5, and the other team will score on us. And it's just like, why? It's like, why did we even score if they can't even hold the advantage? It's incredibly frustrating, man, because it happens every single game. We score a goal and then they score 1 or 2, and then we end up losing. And I think this season we've only won 2 games. That's incredibly frustrating, man. And we've only won 20% of the games because we've only played 10 games. So we've drawn 2 games and we've lost 6 right now, and we're in 12th place. That's annoying.
Yeah, and for the first half of the game, I was so excited. I thought, Matuidi. I have been one of Matuidi's biggest, detractors or critics. And he looked awesome up until they scored. And you saw, once Orlando scored, you saw the shoulders, including Matuidi. I saw them line up, and Matuidi was like this. His shoulders were down. He was down. Come on, Matuidi's a big enough player. He's been in games, big games. You know, his body language was all wrong. And part of it could be, you know, especially after that second goal. I definitely noticed it then that he just might be tired. It was at night, thankfully, but the humidity was strong that night because, you know, it had been raining most of the day in that area. And now it didn't rain at night, but you've got all that stinky hot humidity and these players were struggling with it. But their shoulders and their body language was all down. Like once they went down one goal, you felt like it's over. Once Orlando scored, I mean, you felt like it was over. And you know, they fall asleep for a minute, and but again, I'm just going off on tangents. Matuidi, I want to see more of Matuidi like this. That if we could get that every single week, and then have Gregory next to him, I mean, we might have something there. You know, what are your thoughts?
We were missing Gregory. Who else were Shawcross wasn't? He didn't play, right?
Yeah, it was Gregory and Shawcross both out on red cards. You know, and you know, maybe the fact that they had more of a break. You know, they had some time off. Maybe that helped somebody like Matuidi a lot. But he looked great. He was reading plays. I mean, he may not have the speed that he used to have, but he's positioned well. He's reading plays. He's stopping. He was a great stopper, breaking up plays left and right. He looked great. So
you know, I thought Chapman. You know, Ted had mentioned that he wasn't good. I think he had a lot of heart.
It was his best game.
Pretty decently. Yeah, I think he played pretty decent. So I wanted to give a shout out to him because, you know, I saw him play a good game this time. He had a couple of chances. He just can't score. He shot directly at the goalkeeper, so that hurts. But man, it's tough. And I see Chris mentioning Ecuador getting to the.
I thought I'd put that up for you.
Advancing, yeah. Thanks. So yeah, I mean, gosh, man, it just seems like there's no way to fix this problem. And Neville's, you know, we've got a couple players that are coming in soon.
Okay, yeah, and so we know that those players are in the United States, but and the goalkeeper and Gibbs and defense, and that'll help. But as good as the defense may be, we were good for 70 minutes of the game. Defense, right? We were good. But even while we were good, you know, we had no attack. There still was no attack. Ted is right. Carranza is a wash. He was a zero out there. He did nothing. So, you know, Carranza is not the answer. Here's where I differ with Ted. I'm glad they started Carranza. We need to see Carranza starting. He needs to get out there so we can see what he has. He spent so much time injured with this team. So, you know, glad they started Carranza, especially if Higuain is supposedly out of shape, smoking cigarettes, you know, so he needs to come in off the bench. Fine, start Carranza. But Carranza was a zero in the game, and so we had zero in attack, but we still was our best game, you know. So those two new players coming in may help the defense, but it doesn't solve the problem when we have an attack, and we are thin on attack. We got Robbie Robinson, who's out still, but we did hear that Robbie was back with some light training. It's good to hear.
That's good. Yeah.
It's good to hear.
Well, see, Robbie. You know, we could have picked DK. You know, and he played with Orlando. I thought he did a pretty decent job.
You don't know how many times I said that during the game, leaning over to Neil and Gregor, looking over to those guys and saying, we passed on him twice. Now, here's the thing, though. We did a good job with silencing DK. DK brought nothing to that game. And that's where Inter Miami did a good job. And that's where, when I read the comments online, I read so many comments that a lot of people are just mad at Neville. And they're saying Neville has no track record. He's never been good. This is no different than what he did with the women's team. He's just a crap manager. You got to get rid of him. But do we want to be one of those teams that gets rid of a coach every season? Do we want to be like one of these Mexican teams that, you lose 3 games and they ditch the coach? That's the problem. You don't want to have that reputation. You want the coach to have a little bit of time to turn it around, but at the same time, is he the right coach to do that? And that's the question: is it him or is it the players? I tend to lean towards it's more the players than it is him, because now we've got 2 coaches that could not work with basically the same group of players.
Right, and then players that they didn't pick, and I think that was a big mistake by the owners and the front office, because they should. I think the coach should have had a say in what players were coming in, and now we're kind of stuck with some of these guys who have 2-3-year contracts, and we want to ship them out, but we can't. Pizarro looked like he was leaving for a little bit. They're probably still going to shop him around, I would imagine. Higuain's probably not going anywhere. Pellegrini's gone. He's still in Miami. I've seen him, putting stuff up. So, what's going to happen to Pellegrini? I guess he's not coming back this year, right?
No, Pellegrini is with Fort Lauderdale. Remember, he's the fun thing would be to see if he could suit up with Fort Lauderdale, but that's not going to happen. They just parked him there until they could sell him in the summer window. But is the summer window open
or
at
loan
this
him
point?
Out? No, I think it's. I'm not actually sure, but it's coming up.
Right. So Urso feels like Pellegrini is the best young player. It would be interesting, and unfortunately, Pellegrini, gets screwed because of the whole, young DP thing. They thought he was going to qualify for the young DP rule, and since he didn't, and they got busted with Matuidi, he had to go. It would be interesting to see. I mean, he had flashes of quality in him. So it would definitely be interesting to see what he could bring to this team today. Right. Somebody else had mentioned in here, where is it? Here, Isaiah Paskins is saying, player personnel is lacking, to be honest. Neville has his negatives, but it's not all his fault. I feel like we got to give Neville a little more time. Pizarro... Here's Cameron Shaw says, Pizarro needs to be playing more often. I believe that he could form a great partnership with Gregory. Interesting. I've been a fan of Pizarro for a long time. I think he's underperformed here and there, but when we see him play, he shows a lot of skill, and I keep wondering, he's not a number 10? Are we just using him in the wrong position? Do we not have the right players surrounding him?
That's what I think.
Right.
Yeah, he's playing in the wrong position.
But when he came in this weekend, he brought a whole lot of 0 to the game. He came in with Higuain. Higuain obviously made a difference. Pizarro made nothing. He wasn't even like the Pizarro of old, where he's like on the ball a lot and he's doing a lot of dribbling and he doesn't pass, right? So if there was at least that, you see, okay, there's the skill that we know he has, and he just needs to pass it more. We could work with that. But he really was invisible. And that point when he came in, he added nothing to the game. And there's so much talk about, is Pizarro going to go to Mexico or not? And Neville put an end to that. And Neville is either lying or Pizarro's not going anywhere, because Neville said he's not going anywhere.
I think he's lying.
Oh, well, it wouldn't be a surprise, because coaches lie about that kind of stuff all the time because you can't show your cards.
Well, yeah, and maybe they haven't talked to the player about them probably shopping him around. I'm sure if
he knows,
actually interested,
he knows his agent is doing the shopping. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I mean, don't you think?
Who knows, man? But he's lying. We don't know. We don't know if he's actually lying, if the player's going to leave or not. So, could he use them? I don't know. But I just think any coach that comes in needs to come in with players that he picks. In this case, the two coaches that we've had have come in. I think the only one that Alonso was able to pick was Pizarro. That was a player that he had played with before.
And you mentioned Alonso, and Vamos Orlando says, I do believe that the last Inter Miami coach was better than the one now. Do you think, Ed, that we are in a better position now or last year?
Well, last year, I think we were in a better position.
I'm not talking about standings, about players, about what you see on the field. Do you think we're a better team today or we were this time last year?
I think last year we were a little bit better.
Really?
What I think we needed was for Alonso to. I think Alonso needed another season. I wasn't too thrilled with him leaving because like I said, those weren't his players. This year he would have probably been able to move stuff around. Neville got some players that he wanted.
Yeah, he did,
which was good. Yeah.
I think to me, the biggest problem with Alonso was that locker room. He could not communicate with half of the locker room. And say what you want about, we live in South Florida and Spanish is our number one language. No, it's not. I mean, you're bringing players in from England. You're bringing players from all around the world. You've got to be able to speak English. And Spanish could be your number one language, but you've got to be able to communicate to the other half of that locker room. And I think that's where Alonso lost the team. He may be a really good coach, except we all got frustrated with him making substitutions in the 85th minute?
Yeah, when it was too late.
Jazz Fusion's right that Alonso wasn't going to improve his Spanish in a year. One World, One Goal feels like Alonso would have done well with a translator and Chris Henderson's ideas. Again, B. King is here, and he says team fitness seems to be a problem. And that bugs me. How can 2 years now, with a lot of the same players, how can fitness be a problem? I mean, we have a full preseason. How can fitness be a problem? These players are training in this weather. I know it's tough weather conditions, but they've been training in this weather. How can that still be an excuse?
That's a good point, Peter. I mean, this is all they do. Higuain, he was talking about cigarettes. Maybe he does smoke. Maybe he thought this was going to be easy, and it hasn't been. And he's had problems with his fitness before. He's a slacker. That's what it comes down to. But the guy can score goals. Yeah, because it's not the first time. I mean, when he played with Juventus, other teams, he got fat, and he's always had these problems with his fitness. So it's not anything new. The guy could score goals though, so we need him to at least be in there in the second half. He's an expensive player to be playing only in the second half.
Yeah. Hey, let's One World, One Goal is asking us to give it a shot. We tried it before, and then we got off on tangents. I start yelling at stuff, and I forget what's going on because I get frustrated. But let's just see if this voicemail will work. Let me know if you can hear this, Ed.
All right. No.
All right, it's not playing. We're having some technical difficulties on our voicemail. I appreciate One World you sending in a message like you do every week. We always appreciate it, but it's not going to work this week. But basically, she was definitely saying that she was. I don't know. I've got a.
Like a transcript of it?
Yeah, but it's a messed up transcript. The transcript is never good. But there was some commentary in there about the building collapse at Surfside. I'm not sure what her thoughts were on that, but our thoughts and prayers go out to all those people that were affected in that. I mean, it looked like a bomb went off in that building, so that was awful. Yeah. Really bad. Team did decide to come up and spend and donate $10,000 to that. And that's where I leaned over again to our strikers friends and saying, "Hey, look, spending my time trying to convince them that this should be their team." that, hey, look, that's the benefit of having a team at this level, is that they can spend some money to donate to local charities and local tragedies, whereas a team like Fort Lauderdale Strikers, they could not.
Right.
So Inter Miami could donate, and you might look at Inter Miami and say 10,000 is nothing, but it's more than they had to give.
Right.
They didn't have to give anything, so really we thoughts and prayers go out to all those people. But yeah, so next week we will have the voicemail figured out. We'll figure it out. I'll spend some time this week to fix that and see what's going on. But so Ed, we're wrapping up this show. We don't have but a couple minutes left. Next game is against CF Montreal. That game was supposed to be played at Fort Lauderdale CF Stadium. The misnomer is people thought, hey, it's going to be played in Fort Lauderdale. I could go to that game. No, you could not.
No.
Even though it is in our stadium and is our team, it was still Montreal is the home team in that situation. You would not have been able to go to that game. But there's a Gold Cup game going on. So you could still go to the stadium, but you're not going to see Inter Miami play. That game got relocated up to Red Bull Arena. And so
and Montreal, I think it's closed door.
And yeah, it's an interesting thing that all of the Canadian teams that are playing, whether they're playing in Orlando or whether I was watching the Vancouver game that was playing in Salt Lake City, they're all closed doors. I don't know the reasoning behind that, but
Canada is they're still closed because of the whole COVID thing. There are a lot more.
That makes sense why they're playing in America, but it does not explain why they couldn't say sell tickets to the games that are being played in Fort Lauderdale. Because they want
a home field, feel to it, I guess.
Yeah, well, but you want a home field, Ed. Think about how many people from Montreal live down here at this time. All the snowbirds.
How could you make sure that it's just your Canadian people that are going to go in?
You can't.
They won't have a home field
you can't make
advantage.
Sure.
Yeah. Especially against Miami.
No. It's going to be mostly Miami fans. You can't control that. But you do give an opportunity for all those snowboarders. Hey, you live anywhere in Broward, Hollywood Beach is all Montreal license plates.
Mm-hmm. Canadians.
All the Canadians, especially in the winter down here. They come down here during the winter. The snowbirds, they come down here in the winter. They may have started to head back up north because it's starting to get warm. But, still, there's a lot of Canadians down here in South Florida, so it would give them an opportunity to see the game. But they're not for sale. So none of the games are for sale. But anyways, how do you feel about Inter Miami's chances against Montreal this upcoming July 3rd?
Well, Montreal hasn't been playing very well as it is, so I think we do have a chance, maybe to get some points. If Higuain's, fit, we'll have a chance. If we, Gregory's going to be back, Shawcross is going to be back, and we've got some players that are going to eventually come. New goalkeeper, we got Gibbs showing up eventually. But I don't think they're going to be ready for this game, but I think we have a chance of hopefully at least getting a tie. What do you think, Peter?
Well, we lost to them already. And when we first heard that we were playing Montreal, we were all excited because Montreal does not have a good history. Montreal has proven to be an improved team this year. My thoughts are if they could play the way they played against Orlando, we got a chance. If they could carry over whatever, if maybe what Phil Neville is kind of throwing into their heads, if his philosophy is finally sinking into this team, and that's what we saw the beginnings of against Orlando. Keep in mind, Orlando whooped San Jose 5-0 the week before. Orlando is no joke. Orlando is better than Montreal. So if we could have the kind of game that we had this weekend against Montreal, we got a chance. I'm not brave enough at this point, Ed, to say we're going to win. I'd say we've got a chance.
So there's a chance.
You say there's a chance.
From Dumb and Dumber, huh?
Yeah. So
that's how I feel sometimes.
Yeah, and then the week after that, they're up at Red Bull again, but this time playing Red Bull. They might as well stay up there. But no, but it's like 14 days in between games. So they'll come back down here. But here, hang on a second. Vamos Orlando. If Miami wins, I will donate $100 to this channel. But if you lose, then you should say, here, Orlando is better team. Deal? But if you lose, hang on, let's put that back up. But if you lose, then you should say, here, Orlando is better team. Deal?
Well, we've already been saying that.
I think we've been saying Orlando's the better team anyway, so... But we'll take the $100. But hey, right now Orlando's better. But we're still a young team that is still in still building. They're still got to give Chris Henderson time. Chris Henderson sat next to Jorge Mas the whole game. I saw some pictures of him. Hey, Christian Pulisic was there too, and some other some other soccer stars were there as well.
Who are not playing, in the Euro Cup and all that stuff. They're over here. They're enjoying South Florida. It's nice and warm over here, so it's good to see these people. And that's the type of thing that Miami attracts. It's going to attract a lot of famous people, players, and from movies and all that, because of the David Beckham factor as well.
Yeah, of course. Hey, Ed, I wonder if I could make this more fun if yes, wear purple. They're going down that path, and I had a feeling they were going down that path. If we lose, if Miami wins, Vamos Orlando says he'll donate $100 to this channel. But if you lose, you should say... And then, of course, One World is giving ideas that we should wear purple. Are you willing to wear purple if we lose?
Ouch, that would hurt. First of all, I'm not going to buy one. So if it's supplied to us, maybe.
I don't know.
I know.
I got some purple because I got some purple, but we'll see.
The closest thing to Orlando you're gonna put on is Mickey Mouse, right? You can put on Mickey Mouse.
I got tons of Mickey stuff, but I might have a purple thing here or there. I actually have an Orlando City scarf. I could wear an Orlando City scarf if I have to, but I have one. Ed, don't make a face. It's back when we it's back when we used to do our podcast, and somebody sent it to me for free. It's when they first were announced as an MLS team. It says something like Orlando 2010, something like that. So it was gifted to me. So I do have it
this time.
I do have it. Anyways, hey guys, we went long because this show is too much fun. Love having you guys. It's a lot of fun, especially when we start bantering back and forth a little bit on the chat. Have a lot of fun. Please. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. Give this video a like. If you're watching right now, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And
it's the least you could do.
It's the least you could do, right? So thanks so much, everybody, for watching. And let's just hope for a win against Montreal. And
against anybody at this point. We need a win.
We just need a win. Let's just give us a win. I think we're moving in the right direction. Let's end on some positivity. I think we're moving in the right direction. So much. I don't know. I think we're moving in the right direction. Anyways, go. Make sure you want to buy some Orlando. Got Orlando on the mind because Vamos Orlando is chatting so much. He's even saying Ed is. I mean, he's now stating the obvious. Ed is bald. We know that. We know that. It's nothing new there. But if you want to go and buy any Inter Miami gear, make sure to go visit Caneswear, caneswear.com. They are our friends, and we thank them so much for sponsoring this show. So, hey, everybody, thanks so much for having some fun with us tonight. It was a lot of fun. And, even win, lose, or draw, we're here most Sundays, and so are you, and we thank you for that. So we'll see you next week, guys. Thanks so much.